At least 6 confirmed victims, 5 states, 1 highway, and not a single arrest in over 3 decades. The FBI profiled him as one of the most methodical killers they had ever studied. A man who left almost no forensic evidence, chose his targets with surgical precision, and then disappeared. Not into hiding, not into another country. He just stopped, and nobody knows why. Before we get into what investigators actually found at those crime scenes, and what one small detail told them about who this man was, understand this: the Interstate 70 killer may have walked away clean, but the case he left behind is anything but closed. It begins in the spring of 1992. Between April and May of that year, a killer moves east along Interstate 70, the highway that cuts straight through the American heartland from Utah to Maryland, and he is working fast. In Wichita, Kansas, he walks into a ceramic shop and shoots the female clerk. Days later, in Terre, Haute, Indiana, another small retail store, another female employee, another single gunshot wound. The killings are so similar, so controlled, that investigators quickly recognize what they are looking at. This is not random, this is a route. By the time authorities connect the dots, the killer has struck across multiple states along the I-70 corridor: Missouri, Kansas, Indiana, Illinois, and Texas, leaving investigators scrambling to map a crime spree that crossed state lines with almost no friction. The victims are young women, most of them working alone in small shops, boutiques, craft stores, video rental outlets. Each one is shot at close range, typically with a .22 caliber weapon. Each crime scene is almost sterile. No robbery motive is confirmed, no sexual assault, no extended confrontation. He walks in, he kills, and he walks out. Gone. That detail changes everything. Because what the FBI's behavioral unit recognized was not just a pattern of killing, it was a pattern of control. This was a man comfortable with the act, comfortable with the highway, comfortable disappearing into the flow of ordinary American traffic. Investigators believed he was likely a traveling salesman or long-haul driver, someone for whom Interstate 70 was not a hunting ground but a commute. And then something changed. At some point in the years following the killings, investigators recovered a partial DNA profile from one of the crime scenes, the first hard biological evidence in the case. But there was no match. Not then, not in any database they had access to. The profile sat on file, waiting. For years, tips poured in. Thousands of them. A composite sketch, a white male, late 20s to mid-30s, with a distinctive short haircut and a thin mustache, was circulated nationally. It generated enormous public response. None of it closed the case. This is the part nobody talks about. In a series of killings this organized, this geographically coherent, investigators expected escalation or capture. Serial offenders operating at this pace rarely just stop. But the Interstate 70 killer did exactly that. After the spring of 1992, the signature killings ceased. No confirmed follow-up crimes, no deathbed confession, no prison inmate who matched the profile. Silence. Remember what I said at the start: 6 confirmed victims, 5 states, over 30 years without an arrest. The DNA profile recovered has since been run through expanded federal databases multiple times. As of today, it has returned no confirmed match. The composite sketch was circulated nationally and internationally, becoming one of the more recognizable images associated with an unsolved American serial killing case. And Interstate 70 still runs uninterrupted through the American interior, past the towns where those women worked, past the stores that no longer stand. The FBI has never officially closed the case. The DNA is still on file. The profile is still active. Somewhere, if the timeline holds, the man investigators built that composite from would be in his 60s now. He may have lived an entirely ordinary life since 1992. He may have a family, a home along that same stretch of highway. 6 people were killed in under 2 months. One man did it. And the question that has never been answered, the question that may never be answered, is not just who he was, it's why he stopped.